Alright, welcome guys and gals to Freaking Laser Designs and Tutorials. I'm Jonathan Vincent, and today we're going to look at how to take a signature or any handwritten note and make something fun and meaningful with it. Specifically, we're going to make wall art, a personalized pencil, and a shadow box. We'll start in Illustrator, dabble a little bit in Photoshop, and end up in the Glowforge. Let's do it. Okay, the first thing we're going to want to do is create a new document. Now here I already have a template made up in Illustrator that's Glowforge specific. You can download this template on my website, freakinglaserdesigns.com. You can visit the first tutorial and find the download link there. Let's go ahead and create the new document. So the first thing I'm going to want to do is to change my color. By default I keep it red for cuts. So I'm going to go ahead and make it black just because I want to see black instead of red when I'm writing. And I'm going to up the stroke to say 2 points. And I'm going to sign my name. Of course, I can't do that unless I hit the paintbrush. Excuse me. All right, so we'll go ahead and sign the name. Okay, there we go. There's my name. So the next thing we're going to want to do is to hit the direct selection tool, highlight our name, then we'll go to Object, Expand Appearance, then we'll move down here to the Pathfinder, Unite, and pretty much that's all there is to it. Alright, now we have a signature that can easily be engraved or cut in the Glowforge. In this case we're going to cut it, so I'll go back to my red, my red stroke, and there we go. Okay, and that's what will be cut on the Glowforge. So we're going to go to File, Save As, and we'll save this as Signature 1, but we'll go ahead and save it as an SVG. Click Save, and we'll hit OK. Now make sure, I don't believe I've said this in other tutorials, but when you save as an SVG, I think by default responsive and a couple of these other options are checked. Make sure they're unchecked or you'll get a wonky SVG that won't work in the Glowforge. Click OK, and now it's saved and it's ready to go into the Glowforge. Whenever I can't get somebody to sign digitally, what I then have them do is to sign to spec. And so what I ask people to do is to simply get a medium point Sharpie, preferably black, and use a white piece of paper or white cardstock. So that's what I've done. So let's go take a look. So we're going to open up our signature scan. Here you'll see my name. You can see this was just on a sheet of paper. You can still see the fold in the paper. Usually what I do is go ahead and crop close to the signature here. And then we'll go down to the adjustment layers, go to levels, bring up the whites, crush the blacks. You could also use a curves adjustment to do this if you wanted to. And that looks pretty good. We'll go ahead and save and overwrite the JPEG that we had. And then we'll go ahead and move into Illustrator. We'll open that signature scan. And there it is. And what we want to do is to select it and hit Image Trace. After we've done that, it looks pretty good. So at that point, what we're going to want to do is go to Object, Expand, click OK, and then we want to get the little direct selection tool and highlight this white area and hit Select, Same Object, Fill and Stroke, click the Delete button, and then we have our signature. Now what I should have done is opened it up in our Glowforge specific template, which I did not do, so I'm going to go ahead and copy the signature, and now I'm going to create that Glowforge template and paste it using Control-V on a PC, and there we have our signature. Again, ready to go. So we would hit File, Save As. We'll save it as an SVG. We'll call this Signature 2. Make sure none of these little boxes are checked, and click OK, and we're ready to go. All right, the last file type that we want to look at are the most difficult. These are the ones where we're looking back at some old document. Maybe it's a letter that our father wrote us or a note that our grandmother sent us, and we want to capture that signature or that writing to make something meaningful, a nice keepsake out of it. These can be difficult just because the quality of the writing, maybe it's faded, maybe it was in pencil, maybe the pen was just light in ink, and it has those little sketchy marks in it, where you can kind of see through it. It just may not be ideal, but that's all you have. So what do you do? All right, so let's take a look here. We'll open up another signature file. Here's our third signature file, Love, Dad. Now this one's not that bad. It's a little thin, but what do you do? But it's still not perfect. You can see through it right here. That may or may not be a problem. So basically we'll do the same thing we did with the last image. We'll go to our levels and we'll try to brighten it up, darken the text. Okay, not too terribly bad. Let's crop it in a little more here. We'll go ahead and save it. Save as signature 3. We'll just go ahead and overwrite. And we'll go into Illustrator. Actually, let's go ahead and create new Glowforge template. And we will then place that file, the signature 3, in here. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and do an image trace. All right. This in and of itself really isn't that bad. It's a little sharp, a little sharper than one might want, but it's doable, it's livable, at least for me. So in this case, we would, again like the other, use the direct selection tool and go to select same fill and stroke. Actually, I'm wrong. What we want to do first is pause this video and let you know that all you really need to do is click the little button called expand behind the flyout here. When you click image trace, it immediately turns to an expand button. That's all you have to do is click that, not do all the stuff I'm about to tell you. Now you know, and knowing's half the battle. Let's do it. Is to go ahead and expand it. I haven't done that yet, so we go ahead and expand. Then we'll want to do that. Select same fill and stroke, click delete, and there we have it. Sometimes you'll find that using the auto trace in Illustrator simply doesn't give the desired effect. And in that case, you're going to have to go to the pen tool and trace, or you're going to have to use your touch-enabled PC if you have one with a stylus and trace it that way. The options, are sometimes limited, and that's just what you have to do. But hopefully you'll be able to come away using some of these tools that we've discussed, some of these methods, and have a signature that you're satisfied with and that you can make a really nice keepsake with. Let's now explore some of the keepsakes that we can make.